Welcome to podcasts recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
first song is I Am the Light, a light, and inside your folder there's the lyrics. So please join us and stand as you're able. I am the light.
I am the light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
I live in love every day.
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 Spreading peace along the way.
Spreading peace along the way.
Right time.
Right time.
Right place.
Right place.
Live in love
Live in love
every day.
every day.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are the light
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are the light
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
We are the joy.
We are the joy.
We are the love.
We are the love
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
We are the peace.
We are the peace.
We are the beauty.
We are the beauty
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it
Oh,
shine.
let it shine.
Let it shine.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Oh, let it shine.
Let it shine.
Good morning and welcome to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome to our virtual community and to our friends who are gradually coming back to the center. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you all. We are a science of mind community that teaches spiritual principles to transform your life and make the world a better place. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. All we ask is that you stay open to the possibility of changing your entire life simply by changing your mind. My name is Nancy Ashley, licensed practitioner here, and it is my honor to welcome you. If you're new to the center, there is a welcome package which you should have received by the front door there, and it gives a lot of information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. And there's also a Science of Mind magazine just to get you started. So welcome. For everyone, you can go on our website, cslportland.org. Did I get that right? cslportland.org, right? And in the About Us tab, and you'll find out a lot of the same information, who we are, what we stand for, how we might serve you. And there's a place to sign up. So if you go to the bottom of the right-hand side, there's a place to put in your email address and your name and your email address, and you can sign up for any one of 3 different offerings. So we have a weekly email listing of everything that's going on at the center. This comes out on Tuesday from Reverend Larry, and it gives you everything you need to know. Then we also have our free program, 365 Ernest Holmes, which is a lovely affirmation every day in your email inbox, and it's there with special beautiful picture, quote from Ernest Holmes, and some information from Reverend Larry, just expanding on that a little bit. The third is that you can enter your birth date and get an email, an e-card for your birthday, and excuse me, you don't have to put down the year, just the month and the day. So all of those are available on our website, cslportland.org. Some announcements. We have, of course, we have our Sunday service here every Sunday at 11 o'clock, and also on Facebook Live. And then later, probably by tomorrow, you'll be able to watch it on YouTube. And then there's also a podcast that comes out later in the week. So you can't miss us. We're everywhere. We have a Wednesday night meditation on Zoom, and this week, it's always at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. This week, licensed practitioner Kathy Batten is leading the meditation with the title, Let Go and Let God. We also have Friday lunch with Reverend Larry, which has been going on for the entire time of the pandemic, 11:30 a.m., Lunch is optional. This is on Friday mornings, and it includes some spiritual connection and also some socializing, so facilitated by our own Reverend Larry. So I am to ask Reverend Larry to speak about divine dining.
Is it my time? I should have my special apron on to advertise this, I think. What was I thinking?
Well, you can fake it.
Okay. Anyway, in the summer every year, of course, we host a variety of divine dining events. In fact, I had mine just this last Friday night. If I do say so myself, the food was fabulous. Oh, and some of you were there. Okay, all right, sounds good. But you're not too late. We have several other events, and I want to highlight the next one because it's coming up. So there's going to be a barbecue at the Peace Ranch on Saturday, July 23rd, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., so you can spend a nice part of the afternoon. It's being hosted by Jason Hutchison and Kristen Amison in Vancouver. And I got to tell you, this is maybe their third or fourth year they've been doing that. Every year it gets better. So let me highlight just a couple things. First of all, they're both good cooks. He's fabulously known for his barbecue. But the other thing is they're beekeepers. Have you ever wanted to see some beehives, like right up close? He actually opened, well, here I'm like selling this. I don't know that he will do this year, but at least the last couple of years, he's actually opened them up and got honey out for you as you watch. It's a pretty fabulous experience. So you really don't want to miss that. And last time I looked, there's only spots for, I think, 4 or 5 more people. So it's just in a couple weeks. You'll want to do that. Also on your program, there are a couple that are coming up in September. We'll highlight those more in coming weeks. But, you might want to be signing up for these things right now. They're all available online, cslportland.org. And there's a button right on the homepage that says Divine Dining. Just click on that. It will show all the available options. And honestly, you won't want to miss these. And this year, we're featuring a lot of outdoor ones for those of you that are still concerned about COVID, as we rightly should be. And so no worries. We're doing our best to make sure people are safe. But yeah, you don't want to miss these. They're amazing.
So you can mark your calendars. You'll see this in your program for July 31st, so that's 3 weeks from today. And we are reinstating our annual picnic over at the park, which is Peninsula Park, in the same place we've always been. And this is also Bring a Friend Sunday. So if you use your card and bring a friend to come into our service, then you can go down for the picnic together, and it's always a lovely affair. So hope you'll join us there. So we have a summer virtual workshop coming up for registration on the website. This is in August, and this is called Cosmic Prayer. Now, this is one that I attended 10 years or so ago, and I am still using the prayer that I wrote from that every morning as part of my spiritual practice. So it's going to be an explanation of and some of the strength of Jesus' Lord's Prayer, and then what it really meant in Aramaic. It's really amazing. So please consider that. It is on August 20th, I think. So I invite you to come to that. Flowers today, as usual, are by our own Kat Jacobs. Thank you, Kat, who's not here right now. Special music today, straight from the Jazz Festival last week, Arietta Ward. Of course, with our Friends Band. So welcome, Arietta. Nice to have you back. And our message today by Reverend Larry is called The Law of Mind. So we're really getting into some specific science of mind material this month, and I know you'll enjoy it. So sit back and relax, because I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came to receive.
God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
In this time, in this place, we know that there is only one source, one energy, one power, and I call that Spirit or God, and it is everywhere present. It is in, through, and as everything. It is that vibration of the universe, and it is in every person, place, and thing, every tree, every animal. It is in everything. It is the essence of life. And so I know that as God is everywhere, I know that means it's in me. It is the source and energy that I live by, that I am able to be a co-creative spirit. And if this is true for me, I know it's true for every person here, that we are, each and every one of us, able to be using those amazing qualities of spirit, the qualities like unity and love and wisdom, abundance, wholeness. All of these are everywhere present in, through, and as each one of us. And so I claim and affirm that as we are vibratory expressions of that one, we are co-creators with God for our experience. And by using the law of cause and effect, we are able to claim for ourselves that which we know to be true, that we have faith in our ability to co-create and faith in the energy and source of God flowing through us, flowing through the universe, that we are powerful beyond belief. And our faith in that ability, in that using the law, is how we are able to co-create these amazing lives that we have. And so I just give thanks for this knowing, for knowing that Spirit, God, is always working with us, that which we think and believe and have deep faith in is what we get to experience. And so I just give thanks for this knowing, and I release my word into the action and activity of the law, knowing it is already done. The law is working with us at every moment. I believe it, I know it to be true, and I release this prayer into the action and activity of the law, and together we say, and so it is. And so as we go into our few moments of meditation, I just invite each one of us to know the truth of our being and to know that we are co-creating these amazing lives.
Morning. My identifier is coming off a little bit. It's okay. It matches me. How are you this morning? Fabulous. I saw the message and I was like, oh, okay. I could bring Edda-isms back out because it's in my mind. And I say, how perfect is that? These are things that go on in my mind. They help me find my way. So we can begin. Everything is possible. It's upon you to have it become tangible. Don't worry about the obstacles. There's a reason why they're in your way. Your way. No, that's lessons learned. You just gotta be mindful, or else you will mess around and get burned. Oh, early morning fog. People run around here with nonsense to say. That just means that you're going about things the correct way. The right way, correct way. Oh, these are the things that go on. These are the things along my journey. Loves they come and then they go. It's upon you to know if they should stay and how long they stay in your life. Oh, things happen in your life and you wonder why. Sometimes they can make you laugh or they can make you cry. When you love someone so much, if you have to let them go, will you be prepared to do such? Can you let them go? Oh, it's a blessing to wake up each and every day. You just have to trust, submit, follow, and obey, and pray every day. Oh, these are the things that go on in my mind. These are the things that go on in my mind to help me find my way along my journey. These are the things that go on. These are the things that go on in my mind to help me find my way along my journey. Lift your head up to the sky. Know that everything will be alright. These things I know them to be so. Lift your head up to the sky, and I know that everything will be alright. These things I know them to be so. Lift your head to the sky, for I know everything to be so, that everything will be okay. You just have to lift your head up to the sky and know that everything shall be alright. Just keep it in your heart and your spirit, therefore your mind can hear it. I'm going to lift my head up and look to the big beautiful blue sky. Know that everything will be alright. Oh, I know these things to be so. These things are the things that go on. These are the things that go on in my mind. They help me go where I need to go. These are the things that go on in my mind. Helps me every day along my way. These are the things that go on in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. Hey, these are the things that go on in my mind.
Anna-isms, huh? I suddenly realized just now why I enjoy your singing so much. So for years I've been an opera buff, and your singing just reminds me of a libretto, just like a fabulous opera unfolding. So thank you so much for being here with us. Yeah. I need to see you on a bigger stage, I think. Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here. As Nancy mentioned, we're using another book this month, How to Use the Science of Mind. It's one of those, well, I got to say, it's an oldie, and unfortunately, it's written in that old kind of style of writing. But it's also a goodie, and it's a great book as an introduction to the teaching of science of mind. In fact, Let me just read sort of the promise here from the foreword, because I think that you'll be pleased with this idea that we're going to be using these themes for the month. He says, there is a power for good in the universe available to everyone, and you can use it. This book teaches you what this power is, how it works, and how you can use it to help yourself and others. If you will accept the simplicity of its statements and follow the instructions given in the examples of how to use this power, you will find yourself engaged in the greatest spiritual experience of your life. Faith not only lays a hold of a power which actually exists, it causes this power to respond as though it were a law of good working exclusively for you. So I think we're going to have some fun this particular month. But I do want to start off with this idea of what is a spiritual law. You know, a lot of times we bandy around some of these phrases like the law of attraction, or I think Nancy mentioned the law of cause and effect. Like, what is a spiritual law anyway? And why is it called that? It sounds, I don't know, kind of made up and weird. What's that about? And so what is a spiritual law? Well, it really works the same way that traffic laws or natural laws work. So whether you're talking about the third law of thermodynamics, which describes how heat dissipates in the world, whether you're talking about making a left turn at a traffic light, laws really are there and are called that for a series of reasons. First of all, they apply to everyone. I wish traffic laws didn't apply to me, right? Wouldn't it be nice if everybody else had to follow traffic laws? But no, I can see there's no one coming. I'll just go through this red light. Wouldn't that be handy? But no, laws apply equally to everybody. They're also predictable. The third law of thermodynamics is always going to be doing that. It's simple for those of you who are not physics buffs. The third law of thermodynamics simply says that in a closed system, heat will tend to dissipate. So if you have a hot cup of coffee sitting in your room, it will get cooler with time, and the ambient temperature of the room, although only very slightly, will raise up. So in a closed system, the heat will tend to evenly disperse. Now, I don't think that you can avoid that law, right? It's just going to happen. Have you ever known a cold coffee cup to simply spontaneously heat up? Not so much. So that law is always working. It's always measurable too, which is another characteristic, right? I have been noticing that, in fact, the traffic enforcement people have begun measuring me with photographs. Have you noticed that when you pull up to a stoplight these days, you can see a variety of cameras as they're measuring my compliance with those particular laws. So the other thing about laws, whether they're spiritual, whether they're traffic laws, whether they're natural laws, they're usually measurable. You can usually attribute exactly how that law works. And then finally, the other characteristics of a law is that once you know how it works, you can use it to your advantage. So again, back to traffic laws. It didn't take me very long to figure out that the traffic lights are generally synced up. And if you go at just the right speed, so believe it or not, I actually live on MLK. Well, it turns into McLaughlin Boulevard eventually. But really, it's a completely straight shot from my house to this parking lot. And if I go exactly 22 miles per hour, I do not, see, I've learned how that particular law as it applies to the traffic lights work. Well, I'm here to tell you that spiritual laws are just as predictable, just as useful. You can use them, anyone can use them, and they're even measurable. And I'm going to use a couple examples today, but I think it's time for my joke. So a motorist was caught in an automated speed trap that measured his speed using radar and photographed the car. He later received in the mail a ticket for $320 and a photo of him sitting behind the wheel of his car. Well, the motorist was a little ticked off by this new radar system. thought he'd fight fire with fire. Instead of payment, he sent the police department a photograph of $320. Well, several days later, he received a reply from the police department that contained a copy of that $320 ticket and another picture, this time a picture of handcuffs. So can we break these laws? I want to use an example, and it's one of the science of mind or spiritual laws that we don't talk about all the time. It's called the law of vibration. And what it simply says is that everything is always in motion, that everything has a vibration about it. And colloquially, in fact, we talk about the idea of a good vibe or a bad vibe, right? What people are putting out. But it also refers to the idea that even at the smallest molecular level, everything is moving, everything is changing. And this reminds us that we don't always get to have the world locked down the way we would like it. And I think the biggest example that I can think of is what we've gone through over the last couple of years, right? Remember when the pandemic first hit, most of us did what? Most of us were in a kind of denial about it. Most of us were kind of pissed off. We were afraid. We were listening to the dire reports of what was going on, as we should, but most of us did not want to change. Most of us wanted to somehow manage to do all the things we love to do in the same old ways that we love to do them. And did you notice how breaking this law, if you will, this idea of things in motion, this idea of change just being endemic, did you see all the outliers? The people that just whose lives were totally messed up because of it. People who exploded in shopping carts because they were asked to wear a mask, and they were firmly committed to they did not want to see that change in their life. They wanted things to be the way they always were. And when people bucked that particular flow of life, what it mostly did was bring them discomfort and pain. And so what we've learned, though, over time, haven't we, is to adjust to these changes. Most of us have learned over the course of the last few ways still how to express ourselves, still how to be out in the world, still how to be doing a good time, be authentically who we are. And at the same time, we've learned how to be safe in doing it, given these changes that are out in the world. So many of us, rather than resisting the law of vibration, have learned to flow with it, have learned to do our best to still be authentically who we are, to enjoy ourselves, to be out in the world, and at the same time, to be in relative safety. This is the law of vibration. And what it basically says is everything is moving. And if you try to lock life down, if you try to not have any changes, what will typically happen is that you will suffer. Now, people who are in tune, so back to the beginning, I promise, right? The idea that once we learn how a law works, we can actually use it to our advantage. And I'll use a great example of this. So the Christmas before, well, we were already into the pandemic slightly when that first Christmas came up. And my partner, Daniel, was given a lovely gift of money, $5,000 from his father. So we were thinking about this. We really didn't need the money to, pay bills or things like that. And we were thinking about pandemic. Where is the world going with this? Right? So we were thinking about this flow, this new vibration, this set of changes upon us. And we asked each other, what are people who are trapped at home for long periods of time likely to need and want? I got to tell you, he made an investment in Amazon.com stock and in Apple computer stock, and within 6 months it doubled. His $5,000 investment was worth $10,000 in less than 6 months. simply because he recognized the vibration was different, that things were in motion, right? And for a lot of us would have been too afraid, I think, to make that, right? We were thinking about what's going to happen. This isn't the time for investments. I need to put the money under the bed for a bad day, right? And that's that resistance, that's pulling in, that's being fearful, that's closing our heart. And instead, he said to himself, how is the world changing? What is this change? And can I actually use the notion that there will be changes, and can I anticipate what they are? It was fabulous. It truly was fabulous. So my homework assignment this week, you know I love to assign a bit of homework. And my question to you this particular week is, how is the law of vibration in play in your own lives right now? It's one of those laws of mind. It's one of those things that just is the way it is, and we can be in resistance to it. We can want to keep our lives exactly as they are, or we can notice that our lives, even our bodies, right, are changing, and maybe there is something more appropriate, some new way, some forward-thinking way of moving through some of the challenges and opportunities that are here for us now. So I'd like you just to examine your own lives for that idea of, are there places in my lives where I'm trying to force things not to change? And I'll throw out just some examples. One that's really common is for families when the kids are getting ready to move on into their new lives, right? And don't we as parents want things? No, I don't want things ever to change. I'm fearful that once they're out of the house, I'll just lose them forever. Another thing that's really common as people get older, they want their lives to be exactly the same, and yet their energy levels and sometimes their bodies are not capable of the same level of activity that they did. And yet, I still remember my mom clinging to this idea of needing and wanting to do everything by herself. It was unnecessary, and it caused her a lot of trouble, right? She did not have that sense of, wait a minute, my life is different now. I can express it differently now. I don't have to keep things the way they are. I can actually flow in a positive way with this. Okay, so if you break the law, what happens? Well, if you break a traffic law, right, you're going to get a ticket in the mail. If you try to break the third law of thermodynamics, what's going to happen? You're going to burn your tongue on coffee that's too hot, right? You didn't allow the heat to disperse long enough. And I got to tell you, if you try to break one of the spiritual laws or ignore it, you too will suffer because of that. Ultimately, you cannot have a changeless life. And I have to remind myself of this too, because for those of you who know me, you know that there are certain things that I like to have them my way, right? And I don't think I'm quite a control freak. At least I hope not. You can keep bases with me later and let me know if I'm wrong on that. But there are things that I wish they would go a certain way. And I have to keep reminding myself, well, sometimes circumstances change. Sometimes my life is simply going to be different no matter what I do about it. But can I recognize the directions it's headed in? Can I see for myself what's happening? Can I notice that the population is going to be indoors a lot more? And what are they going to be doing, like my partner Daniel did with his investment? Can I see that as I grow older, I don't have to become a different person, but yet my life may have different patterns in it, more suitable to my level of energy and my desires for satisfaction? Can I see that just because maybe my children are getting ready to leave home and start their own lives out in the world, can I see that that isn't a diminishment of me? And can I figure out how to be a new kind of parent, not a parent of people at home, but more of a friend and a confidant as a parent, as kids go out into the world. These are the kind of life changes that if we try to lock them down, simply bring suffering. And yet, if we can ride that wave, if we can understand how things are heading, oh my gosh, the opportunities that we have for even greater expression are there for us. Well, I want to summarize a couple of things today. First of all, you'll remember in the introduction to the book that Ernest Holmes says there's a power for good in the universe. It's available to everyone, and you can use it. Remember that these spiritual laws, all of them represent a power for good. They're not here to punish us. They're not here to somehow, send us the red light photographs in the mail and punish us, right? They simply exist as a law of good. And when we follow the law, when we understand it and begin working it, more good shows up in our life. So spiritual laws are like all laws. They're predictable. They apply to everybody. They're measurable. You can see them happening. And when you understand them, you can use them. If you break the law or ignore it, there will be consequences. Just as when we break any law, things will not turn out the way you had hoped. The other thing, have you ever noticed too, and this has happened a couple times in my life, occasionally you will break a law and you're totally ignorant of it, right? I still remember the very first time we were hanging out along a lot down at the beach in Tillamook area. And apparently one of the ways they were making a fair amount of money down there, they actually had some speed signs that were relatively hidden. So they would get you down to like 20 miles an hour, but the sign would be kind of behind a bush, and you'd sort of be beyond it before you realized it. And oh my gosh, both Daniel and I racked up speeding tickets. We were going like 27 miles an hour through Tillamook, right? We were ignorant of the speed limit. It didn't mean that we didn't get a ticket. So ignorance of these spiritual laws, unfortunately, you will still feel the pain. So this month, we're going to learn some more of them. In fact, I was so happy to see my friend Barbara Wust here. She's going to be here next Sunday. Give a little wave there, Barb. My friend, Reverend Barbara. Yeah, so glad you were here today. What a treat. She's going to be telling you more about the power of your word, that idea that our thoughts become things. And she'll talk more about that as one of the other spiritual principles, one of those laws at work next week. So I know we're going to look forward to that. So you have your homework. Let me read a final quote from the book, and of course we'll do a prayer. So he says, the spiritual practitioner, so we'll consider all of ourselves spiritual practitioners. The spiritual practitioner is in an identical position with any other persons who uses a law. Everyone expects to comply to the law if they hope to use them. The law of mind demands, by its very nature, that we affirmatively believe in and follow its operation. It would be useless to argue why this is so, just as it would be useless to argue why there is a law of gravitation, right? It just works. A practitioner is one who uses this law for themselves and for others. They use it definitely, consciously, and actively. Experience will teach that implicit confidence and faith in these laws are the chief requirements for their effective and prosperous use. Let us pray. There is one power, one presence, one life, one goodness. There's only this one thing that I call God. And what I know about God is that it is present everywhere, in every life, in every situation. This law, this God, this set of principles is here. And so for this week, I know that as we move about our world, we're open to the idea of change. We're open to the idea of the law of vibration that says from 1 minute to the next, things will be different. Sometimes in small ways, sometimes in large ways, but always different. And so I express a willingness on behalf of all of our parts to see those changes, to anticipate them, and to even use them to our advantage, to see how the world being different can be a good thing, to see how this law of good can be put to good use in our own lives. I give thanks for this. I let it be. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you so much for being here today. What a pleasure to have you with us today. Now is our time of conscious contribution. I invite you to take out your gift or your tithe, whatever it is you brought to share with us today. If you'd like, you can place it over your heart and just repeat after me. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. Would the ushers please begin receiving the gifts? And for those of you online, you can go to our website at cslportland.org/donate. Thank you so much.
More than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more, much more than enough, more than enough. I am more than enough. I have more than enough. There is more than enough, more, much more than enough, more, much more than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more, much more than enough, more, much more than enough.
I'm back. That's very kind. This is a song someone had brought to my attention. It's a declaration of my reality, you know. When you know what your reality is and you firmly believe it and you receive it, yeah, you're open to it. It'll come to you when you talk. Oh, let me sing first. Every instance happens for a reason. Some folks stay forever, some for a minor piece of season. No matter what trials and tribulations come, roadblocks in your way, it is God's will that put him there. And then he has something to say. It's my reality. Yeah. I live my reality every day. I embrace my reality. Yeah. Oh. I own my reality. Yeah. What if turn left instead of right, or forgotten from whence I came? What if the love that we shared had remained the same? What if I would have never accepted that to the funk cracker CD? What if I would have said no, sir, to get green? I don't sing no nothing. What if I would have never embraced my place to lead? What if I would have never remembered what it's like to be me? The time is now to show the masses who I am and what I can do. I am just a vessel sharing my gift my blessings with you. This is my reality. It's mine, I enjoy it. Yeah, my reality. Took a while to embrace it, but it's my reality. It's exciting sometimes. Yeah, it's my reality. Yeah. This is my. I live my reality. Yes. These are things that I say every day. They help me along my way. These are my mantras. I have to spell it. M-A-N-T-R-A. As your dreams manifest themselves as your reality, you shall understand and realize that it's meant to be. As your dreams manifest themselves as a reality, you shall understand and realize that it's meant to be. As your dreams manifest themselves as a reality, you shall understand and realize that it's meant to be. Yes. As your dreams manifest themselves as a reality, you shall understand and realize that it's meant to be. This is my reality. This is my reality. I know who I am now my reality. Every day I learn something new, my reality. Time to go away, my reality.
We have our closing song. Divine Dining, you want to rush home or get your mobile devices, sign up for those parties. They're fabulous. You don't want to miss them. I also want to remind you about prayer opportunities. So we have 12 licensed practitioners here, and truly, it's our honor to be in prayer for you. On the back table there, near Diane, there is our Ministry of Prayer table. You fill out one of those cards and put it in the box. It's our honor to pray for you throughout the week. And you don't have to be here to do a prayer request. We have online prayer requests as well. At the bottom of all of our website pages is a link for making a prayer request. It's automatically emailed to all of our practitioners. So please take advantage of that. We're also going to have the availability of 1-minute miracles. So if any of you need a prayer, I swear there's a practitioner back there. Oh, there it is. It's Kathy. Kathy, could you come forward for our 1-minute miracles when you get a second? Anyway, we also have practitioners available live to do a 1-minute miracle here at the front of the apron of the stage. Just come on up after the ending music, and we're glad to pray with you. For now, though, let's stand and we'll do our benediction. If you'd like, just repeat after me. Something wonderful is flowing through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. And life is in my affairs. I think it. I feel it. I accept it. And I am it just the way that I am. Please know with me that you are never alone. If at any time during the day or night, if forgetfulness might creep upon you, please go within on that altar of the Most High. Recognize that you are loved. And in gratitude for this certainty, I let it be, and so it is. So it is.
Joy be so triumphant.
If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. We have inspirational services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our online listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.